What's happening, guys? Venomousfatman here. I got a new segment of The Verdict for you right now. This time I'm talking about a graphic novel that, is completely exceptionally awesome. I'm talking about Justice. Now, what this is part 2, by the way. There's a part 1 that has the Justice League on it. This is the Injustice League. As you can see, the Joker, Bizarro, Brainiac in the background, Scarecrow, etc. Basically, what this is a compilation, okay, that's done by Jim Krueger and Alex Ross. In case you guys don't know who Alex Ross is, let me sum it up for you guys in a nutshell. Alex Ross is probably one of the best, artists around that does comic books or any sort of graphic novels for both DC and Marvel. A lot of the different companies, even Dark Horse at one point, ever. Plain and simple, because his illustrations, his renditions of any of the iconic characters just look so incredibly detailed, so incredibly lifelike, hyper realistic is his style. If I had to sum it up in a word, here, let me even show you guys how good this is. This is a rendition, in this book of the Batcave, mind you. I mean, look how good this looks. I mean, it's just freaking amazing. Like, check out the Batmobile there. It's like a mixture of both classic 1950s or 40s Batmobile with a little bit of influence from the 1989 Tim Burton Batmobile. But it's incredibly awesome. It's just so good looking. There's just crazy amounts of stuff in this, in this actual graphic novel. Here's even one right now of Superman and Batman fighting each other that just looks incredible. Like here, you can even see Superman's face like that. It's incredibly detailed. Check out Batman right here on the side, getting the crap punched out of him by Superman. But, I'm a Batman fan, by the way, so that's not to hate on Batman, but, he just did get knocked the hell out on this one. But either way, this graphic novel is awesome because not only does it have great visuals, it also has a great story to it. Pretty much, this is almost kind of like, the JLA's, first encounter with the Injustice League, or pretty much, the Legion of Doom, I guess, if you want to call them that, depending on where you are at, where you originated in DC history. But pretty much, the part one I'm actually holding right now is pretty much the second act, and, it's the pretty much, I want to say, I definitely want to say the conclusion, of their actual coming into contact with them, I guess of their first bout. And pretty much, a lot of stuff is going on. Pretty much the whole, main focus of the Injustice League or the Legion of Doom is actually to divide the JLA, because obviously they have strength in numbers, with so many heroes coming together and fighting for the same cause. They're trying to divide them and conquer them because they've all these villains, pretty much some of the classic villains of any DC comic book, Black Adam, Black Manta, Lex Luthor, Brainiac, the Joker, we got all these different villains on here, even Gorilla Grodd, Grundy, all these crazy villains in here. They want to take down the Justice League so bad, they decide, let's band together, make up a plan, and take them out. So it pretty much chronicles their first meeting, chronicles their first bout, all the different crazy things that happen to them. And it's an awesome, just between the great storytelling, the great visuals, you're not going to find anybody that does any sort of visuals better than Alex Ross in the comic book world, because it just looks so awesome. Brings these characters to life so well. Like here, I'm even trying to look right now to show you guys another thing. I saw one before. Check this out. Check out this rendition of the Fortress of Solitude for Superman. Pretty much Alex Ross's interpretation of it is that Superman has a giant key that pretty much unlocks the front door, but what he does is, what's funny is, he has the key right in front of the Fortress of Solitude, because he knows for a fact nobody on Earth besides himself is actually going to be able to pick that up and just walk into his fortress. So it's kind of funny, but really cool concept at the same time. I'll try to find a battle scene to actually show you guys here. You could check out Shazam, The Flash, all kinds of people. I know this one right here is Shazam, like that. Let me see if I can find one also. Oh, here's another thing I should mention that, now that I turn to it. In the back of each volume, with part 1 and part 2, you have these kind of like profiles of the different characters, complete with actual, sketches of the first renditions of what these characters were going to look like in the graphic novel by Mike Ross. I mean, not Mike Ross, excuse me, Alex Ross. Excuse me, I said Mike Ross. But Alex Ross. So here, for example, here's one that does detailed profile. They kind of gimmick it a little bit from the files of Bruce Wayne in the Batcave from Batman, but pretty much you get a cool-looking picture of them, of this one of Superman. Then you get a whole description, of backstory of that character, the history, that he or she has in the DC universe. Like here, let me find one Now there's Poison Ivy. You got all different types of members, all over the place. Here, check out Toyman. These are the sketches of Toyman, of how he might have appeared and was going to appear in the actual graphic novel. You get a whole detailed description. Check out the little puppet for Toyman. It's pretty cool. You get a lot of good stuff in here, a lot of great visuals, a lot of good information that you're going to get. Here, Captain Cold's from The Flash, some cool looking stuff. Any DC aficionado is going to go nuts over something like this because you're getting such a great package with such great content. So anyway, if you guys haven't checked this out, go to your local library or your local comic book store, pick this up, take it, pick up part 1, by the way, from the very get-go, and pick up the second one once you finish with part 1. Read it. Check it out, check out all the awesome visuals because you're in for a real treat. If you haven't checked this out, you definitely should if you're a comic book fan. So anyway, that's just my whole thoughts on the whole matter. This is Justice. Like I said, it's by Alex Ross and Jim Krueger. Leave your comments and video responses, guys. I don't mind. Just keep it civil. Let me know what you guys think of this whole thing, because I'm completely speechless. I love Alex Ross. Almost did it again. I like Alex Ross as a comic book artist. He is awesome. It's just amazing. Like, come on. Like, this is such a good back game. It's just so awesome. So anyway, that's my whole verdict on this whole thing. I'm Venomousfatman. I'm signing off. This has been The Verdict. Talk to y'all later.